Well, hi, everybody. It's Kim Winter, Logistics Executive Group. My pleasure this morning to be talking to Marianne Kintzel. Hey, Marianne, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Kim, and yourself?
Thank you. I'm great. And Marianne is in the sunshine state of Queensland, in the beautiful city of Brisbane, or Vegas, as the Brisbaneites call it, and awesome Australia. So, and here today, we're going to have a really short take and an update on the RWTA, Refrigerated Warehouse and Transport Association conference coming up, a real conference with real people for the 79th year, I think. And Marianne's going to tell us all about that. So, hey, Marianne, give us a bit of an update on what's happening, because it's happening soon.
It certainly is. It's coming very, very fast. It's about a fortnight away, so we're getting to that last 10% of stress factor. The title or the theme of it this year is going to be a little bit different to what we've had in the last couple of years. Obviously, with COVID last year, we wanted to do a focus on trade impacts on the Australian cold chain, COVID, agility and recovery in an era of uncertainty. So it was very much to do with, okay, we've had COVID. Obviously, everyone knows that we've had some issues with some countries overseas with trade, and to really focus on how do we recover from that in the future. So
if we talk just quickly, Marianne, sorry to butt in, but if we talk about cold chain in the context of the last, the affairs of the last 12 months or so, I mean, cold chain has been, I know in Australia and certainly probably everywhere else in the world, it's been an essential service, making sure that people get food, especially food, let alone getting now into the whole vaccine and the pharmaceutical side of it being very important as well moving forward. But talk to us a little bit about the impacts and how things have gone in the industry in Australia since you and I spoke last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago when you were planning this conference. There's been an explosion in purchasing and acquisition around certain products. And from my understanding, what's been happening in Australia is the companies that are handling cold chain have been absolutely booming.
They have. You've touched on it very clearly. It's an essential service. So one of the great things, I think, that has happened for the Australian cold chain, particularly because we sit in between the providers of food and the retailers of food, quite often we're missed. This is where it gets refrigerated, chilled, cooled, frozen solid, as you like, and also transported to the different places all the way around Australia. Now, Australia is a big country, and with 7 states, we've had a lot of every state has done their own handling of COVID. So it's been a difficult year for sure. There have been companies that have been told by government departments to cut down to half, so that people are at home. You can't do that when you're doing more than double Christmas output.
So staff levels have been chopped down to 50% in some operations. Is that right?
They had last year. They've moved back up because obviously we're doing quite well here. There's onesies and twosies of new cases, and we had a bit of a shutdown in Victoria recently. But from there, we've been opened back up again. So it looks like we're going to have the face-to-face conference.
Wow.
Which is
pretty exciting. Tell us about the conference. Where is it? When is it? Tell us about the background, the environment. Give us a bit of a heads up on what's going on with all of it.
Okay, so Noosa is in Queensland. It's in the subtropics. It's the end of summer. It's balmy. It's warm. The thought of getting 100+ people all together in a place that is comfortable, warm and wonderful is very exciting for everybody. And because I think the online side of things has got a little bit tedious over the last few months particularly, people are hankering to get together. We obviously have taken into consideration the COVID safe opportunity, so we're not as crushed in as we may have been, but it will be spacious and wonderful between the 7th and the 9th of March. So that's 2 weeks away. And Noosa is one of my favourite places in the world. It's a beautiful area, and we've got Sunday, which is going to be a fun day, and that's getting reconnected with everybody. Networking can never be underestimated. and we're going to ensure that people reconnect with the people that they know, meet some new people, and really enjoy themselves, so that by the time that Monday and Tuesday come on, we've got about 10, 11 speakers, 2 panels and 3 tech talks, as well as a gala dinner on the Tuesday night. And that will also showcase the Frank Vale Award, which is the Future Leaders. And so it's going to be jam-packed. It's
Awesome.
full of good technical, but also very relevant topics.
Sure. Tell us a little bit. Sorry, tell us a little bit about some of the content, some of the headliner speeches and
Sure.
panels. What is your subject matter you're looking to cover? Because I know you're generating quite a bit of change this year compared to other subject matter that you've handled.
Yes, in the past we've looked a lot at automation, consolidation, and those types of things. And all of a sudden, COVID hits, and the focus has to change. So, hence, with the trade impacts, Australian cold chain, COVID, agility, and recovery in an era of uncertainty is something that we wanted to focus on. We've got the Honourable Scott Buchholz, who's the Assistant Minister for Road Safety and Freight Transport. He'll be presenting on the first day. And then we've got Michael Crellin, who is the chain of responsibility go-to man within Australia. So he started with the NHVR. So he's going to be talking about chain of responsibility and where that is a few years down the track. We'll be having a transport training, safety and recovery panel to do with that. After that, we've got speakers from Askin talking about panels, where that goes, how you can save money in the long term. So it's really a forward looking kind of conference this time. We've got ethical trade. So that's an international issue that all of the companies should be very aware of, and we wanted to put a spotlight on that as well. Australian Meat Industry Council is speaking. So we've partnered, because there's a lot of the meat transfer certificates, a lot of the work that we do is very intertwined. So we're working together. So he'll be talking about the Australian meat industry into 2021 and beyond. And that's to do with capability, profitability, as well as ability. We've got a gentleman by the name of John Wells. So he's to do with cold chain real estate. So that's a pretty big full day on the Monday.
And you always, I'm a fan, disclaimer, the last 10, 15 years, I've been attending the conferences in various capacities, on panels, hosting panels. I was the MC for a couple of years. So
You're MC, yes.
It's been a great event. And I think one of the upsides has always been the spectacular environments you guys always choose. It's always near the water. It's always near a beach. What do we have? We had Hamilton Island two years ago. We had Noosa again earlier before that. Just about every beach location, I think, especially in Queensland, that you could possibly imagine, you guys managed to have some fantastic social activities around it as well. But you usually have a mass of international input. Not so much international this year because of travel restrictions, but I see a very strong lineup of national participants. And of course, as you say, Australia, roughly the same size as America, but with only 24 million people versus 380 million, wherever it is in the US. So you've got some very special challenges in Australia in terms of time and place and distance and transport and storage. The big players in the world, however, are all represented, have invested heavily in Australia and New Zealand over the years. We've got obviously Lineage Logistics, the biggest cold chain company in the world by volume and scale and revenue, privately held still by Baygrove private equity. And then, of course, we have Americold, which is the world's largest publicly listed, NASDAQ listed cold chain company. Both of those companies have had spectacular years in terms of growth, both organically and acquisition. So I don't know whether you're going to be covering any of that, but certainly around the world, a lot of movement in cold chain and growth. If you were looking to achieve one or two things just before we wrap up, and takeaways, and what would you be wanting people to really feel that they've achieved by coming to the conference this year?
I think they will walk away knowing that they've learned enough to make their head spin. They will have had a great get together with people for the first time in a very, very long time. We are ensuring that the place that we have it is enjoyable. We've gone back to Noosa for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it's summer, it's warm, and people are trying to, they just need to get out into some fresh air. But it's 4.5 stars. It's luxurious. It's wonderful. We'll be talking, Landers and Rogers. We'll be talking about, as you touched on, that again, the consolidation and the buying up of land for cold chain around Australia. We've got Blue Apache talking about data security. There's been breaches in the last couple of years, and that's been very, very serious. We're going to make sure that a lot of the things that have come up as first topic, top of mind, is actually being addressed. So you will walk away with a lot on your mind, a lot of things solved, with a particularly good feeling about what you've just had over 3 days, and champing at the bit to come back.
Yeah, look, I know the feedback that you guys get, just awesome every year from the reviews that you get back from participants, and so I'm sure the community and the committee and the executive group have done a fantastic job again. I really got to say, out of all of the communication that we're having all around the world, which is virtually every day from our consulting and our executive search business, there are still very few face-to-face conferences happening. So as with the National Rugby League, NRL in Australia, which was the first team sports organisation to manage to get teams back on the ground around about last April, I think, and with crowds because of the controls that have been put in throughout Australia. You've managed to be able to get people to come across borders as well. Now, I know borders have been closed from time to time, just briefly in Australia over the last 12 months, but no problems. People can cross borders and come to the event. If there's any people last minute wanting to come along to join the conference.
Absolutely. What I'm suggesting they do, Kim, is understand, please, that if anything happens and we have to stop the conference, because, just say Queensland decides to...
Say if there's a lockdown. Yeah.
Say if there's a lockdown, get flexible flights. That I can't control. The accommodation, we either shift, because the idea is that we will shift it to May if at this stage. That I'm not even thinking about that, because
so
as
you've
far
got
as
a
I can
backup
see, it's going to go. Yeah, we've got a backup plan.
Okay.
We won't put it online. This is something that's really important to us to make sure that we get it face to face. That's going to be the main issue. So there's not going to be money lost. It's, if you need your registration back, that's okay. Otherwise, we'll push it forward to the next time. So there's no stress, no fear. If it happens, it happens. That's out of our control. That's out of everyone's control. So we'll just tip our hats and go, look, we'll see you next time. But as far as I can see, it's going ahead.
Let's stay positive. I'm thinking Australia and New Zealand in particular, like some other smaller countries, island nations, have managed to control things very well over the last 6 to 12 months. So inshallah, you're going to have good control moving forward. And I'm sure the conference is going to be a spectacular success, as it always is. The cold chain community in Australia is, I got to say, is brimming full with fantastic people and awesome companies. So we really hope that this is going to be a great one, as they all are. And we look forward to talking to you maybe afterwards and seeing what the takeaways were and giving everybody some summary information. Perhaps if they're not able to attend, maybe we can get them some summary information after the event and share that with everybody from the RWTA, Refrigerated Warehouse and Transport Association in Australia as well. Hey, Marianne Kintzel, always an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and really look forward to a fantastic event, and wish you all the best.
We'll miss not seeing you there, and we hope to see you next time. And anybody who can come, please, you're welcome. Give me a call directly. We'll put your mind at rest.
Thanks, Marianne. Super jealous, and say hi to everybody for us, and have a great event.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kim.
Bye.